Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on SmackDown and Superstars for this week with the spoilers. And also with a Monday night full results. Since I didn't give the full results because I forgot some matches and some whatever else went on. So, off with the Superstars was hate from Raw. You had Santino defeating Jinder Mahal and Cody Rhodes defeating Alex Riley. But due to the following results, that match may be a dark match. It was not being showed. And Will Pruitt was at SmackDown tapings in San Diego, California, the home of Rey Mysterio Jr. Okay, well, you got, for the Superstars, you got Brodus Clay defeating a local wrestler. Over half the upper deck was hurt. The D-Bag Arena doesn't have cup holders. What the? Clay won with a splash. He refused to pull a wheel. I guess that's the reporter's. The reporter himself in the ring for dancing with Brodus Clay. How rude. And Cody Rhodes defeated Tyson Kidd. Like I said, there's your other different match, so they may put that on Superstars instead of the A-Rai match. And Rhodes won with a beautiful disaster kick. A really good match that was worth going out of your way to watch for Superstars this week. Match number 3, the Uso brothers defeated Johnny Curtis and Derek Bateman. Usos hit the Samoan drop and followed up with a top rope splash on Bateman for the win. Match number 4, Sin Cara defeated Drew McIntyre. Sin Cara won a competitive match that went fairly long without a single botch. Another great one to watch. The San Diego crowd was quite into him. And that concluded Superstar taping. And then they had another dark match. Supposedly. Mixed tag. Santino Marella and Layla defeated Antonio Cesaro and Oksana in a mixed tag. Layla pinned Oksana after a kick to the head. I'd call it the bitch kick. This is unnamed yet. Why not? And for your Monday Night Raw report, Raw Super Show opened up with a normal video live from Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Coleslaw welcomes us to episode 999. Jerry King Lawler plugs John Cena's Money in the Bank victory. Big Show versus CM Punk is announced for tonight's main event. And they go straight to the ring, and out comes CM Punk. Punk talks about he dropped a pipe bomb 1 year ago and started a revolution. Punk says he has proven that he is the best in the world. He's beaten everyone that stepped in front of him, including Daniel Bryan last night. At the pay-per-view, Punk talked about how he confused AJ Lee. Has been. Punk talks about the 1000th Raw and says a guy who looks like him would have never been on that first episode of Raw. He definitely wouldn't have been standing there in this 8th month as WWE Champion. Punk goes on to, but is interrupted by none other than Big Slow. That's Big Show. Big Slow mocks Punk's speech, and the crowd starts to tell him that he sucks. Show talks about how Cena got lucky with the briefcase handle at the pay-per-view. Show said if he won, he would cash in right now and take the WWE title. Punk picks on the Big Show for always losing. Punk says Big Slow has the size advantage in the straight, but he just lost anyways. And they go on and remind Show and Show reminds Punk that John Cena could cash in on him tonight. One Show wins their main event match. Show then drops the mic and walks off as Punk takes in what he just said. Coleslaw and Lawler plugged next week's Raw and The Rock's appearance on the 1000th Raw. WWE Tag Champions R-Truth and Kofi Kingston are backstage walking to the ring as they go to commercial. Tag title match is up next. Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, the primetime players, get their title shot as they were are the number one contenders even after they lost at the pay-per-view. We go straight to the ring. Out first comes the tag team champions R-Truth and Kofi Kingston. AEW is out next, who introduced Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. Kind of boring there. And he's all mic'd up, yes, again. Yeah, with the earpiece and where everybody can hear. Why not just get the megaphone from Jimmy Mouth of South Hart? Or the Spirit Squad with their megaphone. Just as bad. Well, Titus and Kofi starts things off. Titus takes Kofi to the corner and beats him up. Titus with a big uppercut and tags into Young. Kofi made a tag to Truth and they double team Young. Truth with a big kick and a leg drop. Kofi tags back in and leaps onto Young with a crossbody for a 2. Kofi ends up leaping out onto both guys on the floor as they go to commercial break. Back from the break, and it's Titus O'Neil is in control of Kofi. Titus with a bear hug now. Kofi fights out with headbutts and goes back down. Young tags back in to continue the assault. Young tries to double team Kofi, but he escapes and tags in Truth. Truth goes at it with Titus and DDTs him for a 2 count. Truth clotheslines Young out of the ring, and Kofi hits Titus with a Trouble in Paradise. Truth drops Titus on his face for the win. So after the match, AEW gets in the ring and argues with the referee because it was a distraction. Well, AEW, you distracted the referee to begin with. AJ's backstage texting somebody when Daniel Bryan walks up. They both apologize for everything. Bryan says he has no hidden motives or agendas. He just got caught up in becoming WWE champion and that he made AJ the scapegoat. Bryan says he was wrong. Bryan goes on, but is interrupted by Eve Torres. She's upset about Bryan ditching her in their tag match last week. He spoke to the board of directors, and tonight it will be Bryan and AJ versus Eve and a mystery partner of her choosing. Eve says payback is exactly what AJ is, and then AJ asked Bryan what he was going to say, and he says he will tell her after their match. Bryan kisses her on the cheek, and he walks off. So we get even more hype for the 1000th Raw and the new tout that's going on with WWE.com/tout. /tout. Michael Coleslaw plays the very first tout video that John Cena sent out, and he announces that he already said he's got a big surprise, and he reminds everybody about that big surprise later on in the report. So you get the first match, one that I missed last night with the report. It was so fast, I guess I missed it for the report as well. Zack Ryder lost to Alberto Del Rio. And here's how it happens. We go to the ring. Out comes Zack. Ricardo Rodriguez begins the introduction next as Alberto comes down the ramp. I guess he has no car. Yeah, because the bellboy. I guess the bellboy. What do you call it? The valet. I guess he didn't. He forgot to pay the valet, and the valet stole it and left the arena. The bell rang and Del Rio goes right to work on Ryder. Referee backs off of him. Del Rio drops Ryder with an arm breaker and kicks him in the back before going back to work on the arm. Del Rio takes Ryder to the floor and stomps on his head. Del Rio unloads on Ryder but gets rammed back into the apron. Ryder comes back in the ring when Del Rio is angry. Del Rio beats Ryder some more and applies a cross arm breaker for the win. For the tap out. After the match, Del Rio attacks Ryder, but guess who returns? Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka! Rey Mysterio's music hits. Rey makes his return to the big pop and rushes the ring to go at it with Del Rio. Rey hits the 619 and sends Del Rio to the floor and up the ramp with Ricardo Rodriguez. Railroad, that's what I call him. Double R. More 1000th Raw hype with Heath Slater talking about his run-ins with legends. Coleslaw says we have another return legend tonight. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and as Heath Slater is in the ring, he wants to know which legend is coming out next. Music hits, and it's Rikishi to his Too Cool music. So you got Rikishi versus Heath Slater. I gave the results in that one, but here's more brief and more interaction in the match. Former WWE Intercontinental Champion and father to the Usos made his way to the ring to a mild reaction from the crowd. He's also from California. And they go to lock up, but Slater goes behind and runs his mouth. Rikishi drops Slater with a big super kick and hits him with a stink face. Rikishi hits a Samoan spike and climbs to the second rope for the big splash and the win. After the match, Rikishi starts to dance, and the lights go out. And when they come back, his sons are in the ring with him, the Usos, and they all dance to the old Too Cool music, with all except for the Worm. They didn't do the Worm. I guess Scotty Too Hotty wasn't around, so because nobody can do it like Scotty. Up next, you got Daniel Bryan versus AJ versus Daniel Bryan and AJ versus Evil and a mystery partner. Back to commercial. Well, the mystery partner turns out to be none other than The Miz. Back from the break, and out comes Eve. She introduces her partner for tonight, and out comes The Miz. Out next comes Daniel Bryan, followed by his partner, AJ. Bryan starts off with The Miz, and they lock up. Bryan takes The Miz to the corner and beats him down with kicks. Miz comes back with a high knee and a kick to the face. AJ tags herself in and comes in. So the guys have to exit the ring, so Eve automatically comes in with no tag. They lock up, and Eve shoves AJ to the mat and into the corner. Eve with kicks and a kick to the face. Eve gets a 2 count. Eve chokes AJ on the middle rope before taking her to the corner and choking her again. AJ fights back with forearms and her own kick to the face. AJ kicks Eve to the mat and hits her finisher for the pin. But Miz has the referee distracted. AJ runs over and kicks Miz out to the floor from the apron. Miz runs in while Eve has AJ rolled up, but the referee is distracted again. Bryan comes in and helps AJ just rolls him over and has her on top as the referee wasn't looking, and then turns around and gets a 1, 2, 3. After the match, Bryan takes the mic, and as the fans chant Borgasms, yeah, 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 Bryan tells AJ that he loves her. What? What about the relationship with Brie? Is that over with? Bryan gets a ring from a crew member at ringside. He admits he lied last week about wanting to get married because he wanted to win the WWE title. Bryan is for real this week, and he drops to one knee to propose. AJ hesitates, but Bryan puts the ring on her finger, and she acts like she starts to cry. Bryan puts the microphone up to her, and she says yes. And they kiss, and some of the crowd boos. Bryan starts chanting yes, and AJ joins in with the yes chants. And the crowd joins them with a mix of no, 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 no. Still to come tonight, Show versus Punk in the main event. Back to commercial. Back for the commercial, they hype more 1000 Raw with a look back at Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. It's announced that AJ and Daniel Bryan's wedding will take place next week on the 1000th Raw. So, get proposed one week and get married the next. Wonder if there will be any interruptions in that. Alright, we get Jack Swagger versus Ryback up next. We go to the ring. Out first comes Swagger. Ryback is out next with a big explosion. Kind of like Goldberg style. Ryback hits the ring and Swagger immediately attacks him. Swagger uploads and hits the gut wrench powerbomb. The bell still hasn't rang yet, but Swagger nails a Swagger bomb in a corner. Swagger applies the ankle lock, but still no bell has rung. Well, Ryback had blocked the ankle lock. Swagger runs right back over him. Swagger goes for the leg again, but Ryback fights him off. Ryback with a big clothesline. Ryback slams Swagger hard with some power bombs. 3 straight power bombs. Ryback kicks Swagger out of the ring and yells, "Feed me more!" in a match. As this music plays. During the middle of the match, he does his little thing, finish it. And the crowd joins along with the chants, "Feed me more! Feed me more!" Still to come segment, show versus Punk, back to commercial, back from the break, and more plugs for Tout. More videos, and they even showed some videos from fans from the first posting. There's like 2 or 3 guys and one girl got a tout. And they're basically touts for the 1000th Raw is what these were going on, and their favorite Raw moment. Miss Piggy comes out introducing Dolph Ziggler. Yep, Guerrero. Dolph comes out in a suit, somewhat, kind of like from Miami Vice, Don, what's his name? Not Don Knotts, but Don Johnson. Well, he's holding his Money in the Bank briefcase. Dolph takes the mic and says, "We're looking at the next World Heavyweight Champion. It's just a matter of time before he catches it in on Sheamus." Ziggler says he will be the best champion in history when he wins. Better than Bret Hart, Steve Austin, and The Rock. Ziggler goes on and is interrupted by Jericho. Jericho hits the ring. Ziggler says tonight isn't about Jericho, and he's not going to come in and steal Ziggler's spotlight. And Jericho doesn't even say anything during this segment at all. Ziggler says he won the Money in the Bank match, and Jericho didn't. Ziggler points out that Jericho has never won Money in the Bank. Ziggler asked, well, when is the last time Jericho won anything? Ziggler talks about all the hype around Jericho, but says all he does is lose. Ziggler says nobody has been given more opportunities than Jericho. Ziggler then says Jericho has been coasting all along for so long that he has everyone fooled. Ziggler says Jericho is all hype and asks when the last time he won an important match was. Jericho still hadn't said a word since coming out. Ziggler wonders if Jericho is losing his touch. Well, Ziggler rubs it in some more, but gets laid out with a code breaker out of nowhere. Jericho gets a small face chant from the crowd and walks off as Ziggler smirks from the ring. He's like, smirking. Still to come segment. Show versus Punk, back to commercial. More hype for Tout. And they show some more, they showed some the videos of the people uploaded to the site. Replayed. Fans share their favorite Raw moments. Announcers hype next week's Raw with DX starting things off for Raw and Brock Lesnar responding to Triple H's challenge. Also, The Rock's return and several others. My guess is DX starts off the show and Brock starts coming in and probably takes out Shawn Michaels. Setting up there's his answer. I'll take that. That's my guess. We'll see how that happens. As that's Brock Lesnar's responding to Triple H's challenge. Okay, next up was Brodus Clay versus JTG. We go to the ring and out comes Brodus Clay with Naomi and Cameron. Fans voted on the website tonight and it's announced that Christian will defend the Intercontinental title on Raw next week against an unnamed opponent. And we go to commercial with Brodus already in the ring. Back from commercial. And we get the official invitation to Daniel Bryan and AJ's wedding next week. It's announced that Bryan and AJ will be the special guests on Christian's Peep Show this Friday on SmackDown. We go back to the ring and here comes JTG. He's more buff lately. Since he's left Crime Time, he's been working out some more. Bell rings and Clay goes to work on JTG with power moves. Clay with a big suplex and an elbow drop. Clay runs into a big boot and has his knee taken out. JTG takes control and takes Clay down and stomps away. JTG continues his assault and mocks Clay's dancing. Clay finally catches JTG's clothesline and throws him with a suplex. Clay hits a headbutt and a splash for the win. Well, the normal dancing in the ring with some kids after the match. Up next is Punk versus Big Show. Back to commercial as some more hype for 1000th Raw. And finally we get to the main event. CM Punk it's a non-title main event, by the way. So Big Show is out after CM Punk's music plays. Cultural personality. And the bell rings and Punk dodges a shot from Big Show. Punk throws some kicks, but Show takes him to the corner and delivers a right hand. Punk comes out fighting, but Show knocks him to the mat with a headbutt. Show runs over Punk with a clothesline after some more offense. Show stands on Punk's back and goes to the floor with a big chop to the center. And he's just holding the ropes. It actually seems like he's got more leverage with more weight on it. Punk fights back on the floor, but Show knocks him back down. Punk shoves Show into the ring post and brings it back in the ring. Punk unloads with kicks, but Show drops him with another headbutt. Show keeps control and puts the boot to Punk in the corner. Show charges in the corner, but Punk puts his foot up. Punk leaps off the top, but Show catches him with a bear hug. Show slams Punk and runs his mouth to the fans. Show with right hands and more trash talking now. Punk gets up and fights back. He jumps on Show's back for a sleeper hold. Show breaks out and drops Punk with a side slam. Show misses a splash from the second rope as Punk rolls out of the way. Punk fights back and staggers Show, but can't knock him down. Punk charges, but Show hits him with a back body drop. Show gets ready for the knockout punch, but Punk ducked it. Punk hits a super kick and another kick to the head. Punk sends Show to the corner with another kick, and then hits the high knee. And he goes to the other corner and tries to go for another high knee and nails it. And nails it a third time. A high knee. And then the bulldog. But it's blocked. Show misses a splash in the corner and finally goes down. Punk hits the elbow drop from the top rope, but Show kicks out at 2. Punk springboards in, but Show catches him with a huge choke slam. But Punk gets his foot on the bottom rope at the count of 2. Show takes Punk back to the corner and works on his ribs. Show with some big body shots now. Show pushes the referee down and gets disqualified. And I predicted that myself. A disqualification. Well, after the bell, Show continues beating up Punk. Show ready for the knockout punch when John Cena's music hits, and out he comes with the briefcase. Everybody's thinking he is cashing in. Well, Show leaves the ring as he's pissed at Cena for actually cashing in. But he takes a mic instead, gets back on the ring apron. Cena goes to make his announcement, but Show interrupts him. Show thinks he's going to cash it in now. Show taunts Cena to cash it in. Cena tells Punk to take 1 week and prepare for the biggest match of his life. Cena says at the 1000th Raw, they will find out who the best in the world really is. Cena announces that he will cash in next week for a shot at Punk's WWE title. Show still wants him to cash it in now. Cena decks Show with the briefcase that celebrates his music, and that was his big announcement. Oh, because he actually said, and by the way, my big announcement is, and he runs and knocks him with has a big dent in the briefcase. Because it already supposedly had a dent in it from the pay-per-view when he popped him in the head with it off the ladder. Well, Punk raises up the WWE title as he's a meet in the middle of the ring as Raw goes off the air. After Raw went off the air, they set up John Cena in a handicap main event for the live crowd. And this is what happened. There's 2 reports for the dark main event. John Cena beat Big Show and Tensai in a handicap match. The match ended with Show KOing Tensai as he missed by a mile again. And Cena delivers the attitude adjustment. John Laurinaitis appears and got heat from after the match. And that was the end of that first report. And Kenneth Reevely attended Monday's Raw Super Show and sent the following notes for the event. The crowd was hot at the beginning, even though Superstars taping got a lot of love. Surprisingly, there was not much interest in the Dolph Ziggler Chris Jericho promo until the codebreaker hit. It didn't air on television, but The Miz called out the GM or an authority figure, and out comes Triple H wearing a suit and delivers a pedigree on Miz and walked back to the back while flashing the DX sign. The crowd went wild for that. The reporter felt really old watching Rikishi due to how many around him that didn't even know who he was. And he commented on the dark match. John Cena defeated Tensai and Big Show in a handicap match. Cena won. Big Johnny came out with a chair and ambushed Cena. He got in one chair shot before Cena hit the attitude adjustment. A little bit different. Okay, Will Pruitt is a reporter on ProWrestling.net, and he was at the SmackDown taping in San Diego, and he's sending the updates. He says Booker T and Michael Cole and Josh Matthews come out for commentary, and Michael Cole has new music. Lillian Garcia was the ring announcer in the ending of Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio match from Money in the Bank was shown. Rey Mysterio made his entrance, and they replayed his segment from Raw with Alberto Del Rio. Mysterio cut a promo. Rey was in his hometown to announce that he's back. Del Rio and Ricardo came out with a car to cut him off. Del Rio accused him of being a chihuahua and said he took Mysterio out. Del Rio was upset at Sheamus for beating him at Money in the Bank. Duh. Dolph Ziggler comes out and says that he will be the next world champion. World heavyweight champion. He's upset that Del Rio for thwarting his cash in on Sunday. Rey Mysterio interrupted their argument and suggested they fight. Ziggler said they should. The Sheamus enters. Sheamus awkwardly hugged Mysterio and called him fella. Sheamus and Mysterio were ready to fight. Del Rio left. Ziggler almost took a 619, but Vicky saved him. Solid opening segment. I'm guessing we get a tag match tonight. Speaking of tag match, the next match was a tag match. Primetime players with AEW and Hunico and Camacho. So it was a tag match. It was 8-man tag, I guess. Well, they defeated Kofi Kingston, R-Truth, Epico, and Primo. Darren Young pinned Primo, or Epico, whichever one, after he fell off the top rope onto Young's knees. Kind of like a backstabber. Big Show hits the ring and said he was there to demolish the tag division. He hit everyone and double chokeslammed Hunico and Camacho. He delivered a promo in which he said, "And what?" and left. That seemed unnecessary. Then they get a Raw 1000 Vignette with Jeremy Piven was shown. Long live Summerfest. The aforementioned tag match, the main event was with Sheamus and Mysterio versus Del Rio and Ziggler. Will happen tonight. A tout commercial aired. Damian Sandow in the second match defeated Zack Ryder. Sandow said we were embarrassing ourselves by supporting Ryder. Ryder attacked him. Then the match started. Sandow over Ryder with a neck breaker. The Peep Show was up next. Christian came out and said that the Bazaar was taken to a whole new level. Then showed a recap of Daniel Bryan and AJ on Raw. Bryan and AJ then entered. Bryan held the ropes for her. The wedding is planned, apparently going well. And we saw a clip of them planning. It was a real delightful and silly. Christian asked Brian if he was sure he was doing the right thing. Brian says yes. AJ said she has forgiven Brian. Christian asked if this was true love. They both say yes. And the crowd chants yes. More Borgasms. Christian asked the crowd if they should get married. Which they chanted yes, no mixture for Christian. And then Christian asked the crowd if they thought Brian and AJ knew what they were doing. They answered with yes, no again. He asked if AJ knew what she was doing. She slapped Christian. They went to leave, and Christian announced that AJ has a psychotic ex that Brian would be facing right now. And that's none other than Kane, and they cue his music for the next match. Well, Kane defeated Daniel Bryan with AJ by disqualification. AJ tried to interfere, which led Bryan to being disqualified. After the match, AJ nearly kissed Kane, but she declined doing so. Bryan and AJ kissed on the ramp right in front of Kane. This could be the start of another program with them. Nothing new. Heath Slater was out next, and they replayed his Raw 1000 package. He said that the one-man band is on SmackDown, baby. His luck is about to change because he said it's going to, as Road Warrior Animal enters to make sure that didn't happen. And Road Warrior Animal defeated Heath Slater. Animal won with a power slam and an elbow drop. Real fun stuff. Vicky Guerrero yells at Ricardo about being called a donkey earlier in the night. Comedy segment that was almost funny. Slater is tired of the legends and challenges anyone to come to get him out of the ring. And guess what? Triple H's music hits. You know how this goes. Pedigree. So this might not be on TV for that. Crowd pops huge again. Done. Match number 5. Sheamus and Rey Mysterio defeated Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler by disqualification. Mysterio wore new ring gear, black pants with one white stripe, and yellow lettering that says 619. There's a shirt attached with just one question mark on it. Fun look since he seems to have lost some weight. Well, what do you weigh? Like 100 pounds anyways? So what's he weigh? Like 80 now? Mysterio sold for most of the match before making a hot tag to Sheamus. Ricardo interfered by grabbing Sheamus, which set up for the road kick. There was a disqualification finish with Mysterio and Sheamus winning, technically. Del Rio attacked Sheamus post-match, and Ziggler looked as if he was about to cash in when Mysterio kicks him. Then hit the 619. Sheamus hits the brogue kick on Ziggler. Sheamus and Mysterio celebrated to end SmackDown. And your main event dark match for SmackDown, John Cena defeated Big Show and Cody Rhodes in a handicap match. So I guess Tensai didn't make the program. Well, Show accidentally hit the WMD on Cody. Well, that's, again, how they normally do it. Cena attitude adjusted Show. Cena pinned Rhodes. Big Johnny out with a chair again, beats up Cena. Cena recovered and delivered the attitude adjustment again on Laurinaitis. And he does a you can't see him. His time is now to end the show. No return date announced for that for the next event for San Diego. And that ends my report for SmackDown and Raw and Superstars. Thanks. Peace out. God bless.